All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to say it is 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I'm Matt Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and we are back after missing a stream on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for putting up with that missed stream. Things were not working out for that day. Yeah, things did not work out that day. I was not feeling quite right, and boy oh boy, a stream was just not an option. So we are back on track, as we know, because if you were here yesterday for Statterbox at the cinema, you would know that we watched Bohemian Rhapsody, a movie about Queen. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen that movie yet, you're missing out. You definitely need to see that movie. All right, so before I get the party started, why don't I say hello to everybody who's at the party? We have got Pussycat in the house, along with Shock and Darlene. Excelente, good to see y'all here. Terry in Scotland, subscribing for 26 months. So awesome to have you here, Terry in Scotland. Thank you so much for coming in today. And let's see here. Did I say hello to Darlene? I might have, but I might not. So hello, Darlene. Pussycat, first one to say hello, so hello again. All right, we've got Terry, we've got Shock on YouTube side. Looks like we've got YouTube and we've got Twitch coming in strong, just like it should be on the Chatter shows. So now that we are all here, including Elaine. Hey, Elaine, good to see you. Why don't we get the party started? All right, there you go. Okay, so Green Bay Packers won. I was gonna ask Darlene. Now, for those of you who don't care about football, and I basically am kind of one of those people, I am sorry, but we're gonna talk for just a minute. We're getting very close to the end of the football season, and even I, who don't give a flying fork about football, at the end of the season, I start to care just because it's nice to sort of know what's going on. So, let me ask. Let's see here. So, Green Bay is making it to the playoffs. Who did Green Bay play today? First question. Second question, Rick, what is the next game tonight that you need to watch? Because I know enough right now. Going to the bar, you're kind of like forced to talk about football every once in a while, right? And so it seems like there's a whole lot of teams that are jockeying for hopes. And then like there's the cream of the crop, and there's a whole lot of teams in the middle-ish that like it depends on who they lose to as to who gets to. There's a whole lot of if or ands or buts going on, I guess, basically. So the Chicago Bears, they beat today. Okay, so who is the next game that you're hoping to see tonight, Rick? And then, even though I could look it up, if I really cared, I would have already. Does anybody know, did the Seahawks win today? And I'm assuming the 49ers are in the playoffs. I was kind of surprised that the 49ers weren't obviously in the playoffs, but like, I guess they still had to fight for it. But okay, not surprised at all that the 49ers are in the playoffs. Seattle lost, not surprised at all. And then, let's see here. The Mount Adams Twitter account claims the Seahawks... Wait, the Mount Adams Twitter account claims that the Seahawks beat Chicago. But I thought that Green Bay played Chicago. Well, if this just isn't a game of telephone in action, I don't know what is. But I do know enough to know that Pussycat saying the Dolphins are going to be playing tonight. I feel like I know enough to know that the Dolphins are favored, right? Don't the Dolphins have a really good record right now? I mean, I really am curious, or clueless, and curious, but really mostly clueless. But I really feel like the Dolphins are having a good year this year. And, oh, shock, you follow some parody volcano accounts on, on X-Itter. I want to pronounce it. I want to pronounce that X as an SH sound when I see that. Because that is basically the only time I ever did look at my Twitter when I was on the Lua. Only it rhymes in a different way. Anyway, so, okay, so under further review, the Bears still lost to Green Bay. And the claim was the Seattle did their job and Chicago didn't. Okay. I get it. And oh, shock, you intend on that pronunciation. Oh, good, because it flows very natural. Like, I had to stop myself from saying it, actually. Like, I really did have to, yeah. Okay, so, and Terry, you just checked to make sure the Cowboys made it to the playoffs. Did they make it to the playoffs? Because I feel like they had a pretty good year, too. I feel like the Dolphins and the Cowboys are having good years. The Eagles are having a good year. And then, like, everybody else is like, well, you're doing okay, but not as good as these guys. These guys are doing really good. You're doing good. And then there's teams like the Seahawks who's like, well, you're doing okay-ish. And so, and let's see here. The Chinese head of state's name is Xi. I think that's how you would pronounce that. So you could say cheater. No, I don't. I prefer it. No. And actually, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right now that I think about it. So, and oh, the Packers are playing the Cowboys next. Ooh, that's probably going to be a good one, I bet, right? Don't you think? Don't you think? And, let's see here. Got it. I could claim I meant to say she-ter. Got it. True, I guess I could, but honestly, I don't really want to drag China into the whole Twitter mess. I mean, like, they've got their own TikTok nightmare going on. I don't really feel like, I feel like Elon Musk needs to just wallow in his own XITTER. And let's see here. Oh, okay, wait. So, Rick, the Packers... So, wait. Oh, so the first round of playoffs is next week? Oh, for some reason... Oh, so the season's now over? Wait. For some reason, I thought we still had more games in the season. And if they're playing first round, does that mean that they're in the wild card slot? Watch me learn about football in real time. Every January, I go through a football training. And then every January, we repeat the training. And then every January, we repeat the training again. Yeah, all right then. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland, the old rivalry continues. Should be a good game. Advice, never bet on the Cowboys, even if you're a fan. And it should be an interesting game, says Darlene. Love our quarterback, doing great right now, but it does take more than the quarterback. Yes, for sure. Okay, so Packers are a wild card. Okay. And February is the Super Bowl. Got it. Huh. Well, let's see here. Elaine, if your stream stopped, I don't know why I'm talking to you because you probably can't hear me. But on the off chance you can, I'm not dropping any frames. So I think that your issue is out of my control. And hey, it looks like we've got Trail Dust coming on in. We are trying to teach me about football or something. I'm learning about the playoffs, as it were, this year. I thought we were still in the regular season, but as it turns out, I guess the regular season is now officially over. Seattle is definitely out. The Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers are in. The 49ers are in. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you. And let's see here. Andre, having the Super Bowl in Las Vegas makes sports betting so much easier. Oh, yeah, I bet. Totally. And Chuck, wait, Seattle won and they're still out? Oh, yeah, dude. Seattle didn't know. Oh, no. This was the end of the regular season, right? So this was the cumulative of our whole season. We knew that we were out of the playoffs weeks ago. We just wanted to, you just want to keep winning for your record, but I don't think there was any hopes that the Seahawks were even going to see the wild card. Like, that was decided a few weeks ago. So, let's see here. This game did not really count if you're a good team. Right, yeah, that's what it seems like for a lot. And then, Trailed Us. Oh, you live in Minnesota. Vikings good, Packers bad. Right. I saw that game. Didn't the Pikers? No, the Packers in Minnesota. Didn't they play just a couple weeks ago? And if they did, I think I remember how that turned out. And I don't think you were happy, if I remember correctly, Trail Dust. Not that I'm remembering you. I'm just remembering the game I think I might have seen at the bar. But since it's at the bar and I'm not paying attention, forgive me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I thought that the Packers beat the Vikings. That's that's what I was talking about. And let's see here. Oh, good. We've got Teeter's ears being scratched. I love to hear about a good ear scratch. And let's see here. The 49ers didn't even let their starters play the game. Didn't care that they lost the game to LA. Wow, trippy. And let's see here. Yellow on about y'all on about rugby? No, Cora the Capricorn. No, we're not talking about rugby, but I can appreciate why you threw that little jab at us. No, we're talking about American style football, not football. We've got that too, but no, it's American style football that we're talking about, because apparently it was the end of the season today, or maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. It's the end of the season, and so people are going to playoffs, etc. But I can tell you right now that Seattle actually does have a rugby team proper. I don't remember what it's called, so I'm not going to tell you, but we do have a rugby team out of Seattle. We do. It's new. And I don't know if they've started playing any games yet, but they do exist. I don't know where they're going to play their games, but they do exist. That's right. We've got a rugby team and a cricket team and a Major League Soccer team and an American-style football team and a baseball team and a women's NBA team and a hockey team. But we don't have boys basketball. Pussycat, rugby is football and wrestling mixed. I don't know what you want to call rugby. This is what I will call rugby. The baddest assest of all the sportsists. Oh my God. The lack of padding and protection and the amount of physical contact in that sport. Rugby is the baddest assist sporticist ever. That's right. And let's see here. Starfire Sports is the sporting facility in Tukwila, Washington, on the banks of the Green River near Seattle. It's operated by the nonprofit Starfire Sports and is home to the Seattle Seawolves Rugby. How did I know Andre would come in with the facts? And let's see here. Puzzy Cat, lacrosse is pretty brutal too. You know, we don't have a lot of lacrosse here. I mean, let me rephrase that. When I was growing up, I never saw lacrosse here. I am now starting to see it in like private schools and stuff. You know, the kids that are in their little uniforms seem to whatever. So I don't know, maybe public schools are taking it up too. But all I know is when I went to the East Coast, lacrosse was way more popular than it is yet on the West Coast. So, yeah, no, I know it's been around. It's yeah, I mean, it's I think if I remember correctly, technically it's a Native American sport, or based on a Native American sport. I know it's popular in Puerto Rico. I know that all up and down the East Coast, it's very popular, but yeah, it just never really made it over the Rocky Mountains to be real popular, I guess. I mean, because I remember when I was driving through Rhode Island, like, there was signs to the whole, like, yeah, okay, it's a New England thing, yeah, because I mean, I remember there was, like, signs like, lacrosse stadium, this direction, and I'm like, lacrosse stadium? Who the heck needs that? Well, apparently people in Rhode Island, or other New England states. So, yeah, totally. Let's see here, Terry in Scotland, Jimmy Brown, the great running back for the Cleveland Browns, played lacrosse at Syracuse. Okay, there we go. And, oh, okay, Andre, so you had a lacrosse team in Berkeley that was full of the richest, whitest kids with one rich black kid. Right, yeah, exactly. And let's see here, Chelsea football team just played like $1 million to take my cousin into their team from Newcastle for the OG football. Sports are crazy and gross. He's on the under 21, so he's not like a famous dude, but he's getting there. Yes, he is. Oh my gosh, Cora. I, first off, hope he remains healthy and able to fulfill this trajectory that he's on, because yeah, he is slowly making it to the big time. Oh, that is so awesome for him. I don't know you very well. I don't know him at all, but I am very excited to hear this. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about a whole lot in regards to football. Yours, not our, well, actually both. But for real, even I know Chelsea is, they're no schmoes, right? Even I know Chelsea is a big deal. So, I'm just so excited for you. I'm all Twitter-pated. That just is awesome. Okay, that is super cool. And yeah, you've not seen him, of course, exactly. Just like, yeah, just like most fans. Like, I don't know, long-lost cousin, but now that he's doing good, I'm all proud of him, even though he's basically a stranger. And, Chuck, a friend's 10-year-old nephew spent a week in Spain doing soccer in some youth prospect thing. Yeah, totally. It's so crazy how in Europe they really have a different sports tracking. Like, they really get on them kids young. You know, here at least in high school, you know, high school football is its own thing, but like, and then of course, kids do get scouted right out of high school, but it seems like in Europe, they really start looking at those kids way younger than here. And so let's see here. And yeah, so they're scouting in the US for European soccer. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you gotta, while our soccer programs are not nearly as developed as those in other countries, Canada, I'm looking in your direction, we still do have some pretty good teams here as kids. But I'll tell you what, dude, in growing up, I played soccer from age like 7 until 12, and all of the teams, didn't matter if it was the boys' teams or the girls' teams, whenever the Canadian teams came down to play us or we would go up to play them, oh, it was a massacre. It was always a massacre. It was a joke. I mean, it was just like, why do the Canadians even bother with us? It was such a flippin' joke. Yeah, they would kick our butts so bad. And let's see here. So Terry coming in for people like me, really. Lacrosse. French. The crossier or whatever. Okay. Competitive sport, modern version of the North American Indian game of Bagatawe? Okay. In which two teams of players use long-handled, racket-like implements, crosses, to catch, carry, or throw a ball down the field into the opponent's goal. Goal is defined by uprights. Hold on, wait. By uprights and a crossbar framing the loose net. Okay, makes sense. There you go. And Cora. Over here, we never have like big football games, but normally the pubs have their own teams that we play against. I'll never get to hide under the bleachers. That's so cute. Yeah. No, I've been told that by a lot of exchange students back in high school, that the way we do school sports in America is just not the way it's done over there. The athletic programs are separate from the schools that you attend. So yeah, no bleachers at the school. And let's see here. And Andre's saying that they've got these soccer youth schools in Africa that are recruiting for the Euro Leagues. Oh, well, that doesn't even surprise me. I mean, come on. I don't know what part of Africa, but if it's from the part of Africa where they can run forever and fast, yeah, that's a good thing to have on a flippin' soccer team, because you basically got to run around for 87 hours on the field. That's right. An official soccer game is 87 hours of constant running. If you haven't been to one lately, those are the rules. 87 hours of constant running. All right, maybe not, but whatever. You better be able to do it. And let's see here. In high school, Trail Dust says that you had a kid from England that got a soccer team started, but yeah, when he graduated, it just faded away. That's a bummer. And let's see here. Cora, you think that kids' competition isn't healthy or something? That's funny. And NASA has a cricket team, and William and Mary has some kind of club. I'll assume you mean a cricket club or something, rather than just like, oh, I've got some kind of club over there at that college. And Andre, you took soccer as a PE class. Nice. And let's see here. Wow, your high school won the Texas State championship in 69 and 70, 33 games undefeated. Now, when you say, Terry, that your high school won that championship, you mean American football, not football, right? Because I know how Texas loves its football, but I didn't really know they were that proud of their football. Let's see here. And wow, dude. Shock, you're saying there's cricket in the gym before you practice on some days? It's wild to play it on a basketball court? I clearly don't know how cricket is played, because I thought it would need a lot more room than that. That's all I can say about that. Let's see here. Fuzzycat, NASA is launching 2 rockets tonight. One went up at 6 p.m. and the other is at 3 a.m. 9 hours later. Are you going to be staying up to watch the 3 a.m. one? And did you see the 6 p.m. one? And you have inside cricket players in the South Bay. Okay. And then shucks, and then there's just a lot of running around that I don't really understand. Got it. Cora, you used to coincidentally sprain your ankle on Fridays to avoid all sports at school unless it was trampoline class. There you go. Suddenly trampoline class, her ankle's always strong. And let's see here. Oh, okay, right. So you've got a lot of cricket in the South Bay, but you have a lot of people from India and Pakistan. Right. That makes sense. And let's see here. Okay, yes. Once again, it's clear that the kids at your gym are from the Asian subcontinent, South Asian, as it were. Pussycat, you saw the first rocket, but you're not sure if you can stay up till 3. Fair enough. I mean, and is it gonna be any different than the one that you saw at 6? I mean, you already, it's like, how many rocket launches does one need to witness in one day anyway, right? Right. And hey, Gina, so good to see you. We are talking about, we're talking about sports. I can't really explain it. But we're talking about sports. Yeah. Talk about rugby, football, lacrosse, the other kind of football, cricket. I'm sure we were talking about other stuff too, but I'm not going to tell you what. Mostly because I don't remember. And let's see here. Oh my God, Cora. Your PE teacher got fired for pushing a girl off a gymnastics pyramid and breaking the girl's leg. That is not cool. The pushing and the breaking of the leg is not cool. The firing, yeah, that might have, oh my. Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately you had a bad ankle, so you couldn't watch it. Yep, there you go. And yes, exactly, Gina, chatter does scatter to weird places here, because I think I actually brought the topic up, oddly enough, which is weird. And yeah, Andre, exactly, that gym teacher really should have known. I mean, it's one thing if another student pushed her off, being a jackass and a whatever, which, students do that. I mean, I've done stuff that in retrospect was like, wow, somebody really could have gotten hurt when you did that. But to have the teacher actually do it, yeah, that is despicable. And you tried to divert me with the Mount Hood. You did try. Yes, you did. But alas, you failed. Okay, so let's see here. Cora, okay, I like your next PE teacher was just a stoner and let us just smoke cigarettes for an hour. Nice. Yeah, and exactly, Darlene, there's always some issue with the teens, which is why the PE teacher didn't need to be adding to it. I mean, like, dude, or chick, whatever you want, like, whatever you identify as, man. Like, what? What were you thinking? And let's see here, Andre, your gym teachers can't touch the kids, so they get other kids to do their bidding. Oh, that's awful. It's funny, but it's awful. Maybe that's why the people are here. Let's see here. You adored your PE teacher in elementary school. I did not, but I was always the fat girl who, was the last one to run the mile and blah, blah, blah. And it just sucked. It's just like, and I know this wasn't really the teacher's fault, because, like, what is she supposed to do? I hated our music teacher. Oh boy, did I hate our music teacher. But, the last thing that the fat girl wants as she's struggling to finish the 6th lap of the field or whatever is having the entire class standing there watching her. And yeah, the teacher's trying to be nice and she's telling everybody to cheer me on, but actually I'm dying of humiliation and I just want everybody to go inside the gym so I can finish this by myself. I don't need everybody watching me and waiting for me to get there because, you know, when you're the fat kid who's the last one to get in, you inevitably end up being under the eyes of every single one of your classmates' judgmental flipping gaze. And when the teacher's not there, I really resented that teacher, and I understand what was she supposed to do? Leave one of the kids out in the field? No, probably not. But why she didn't understand what she was doing was just awful. I don't understand. That I don't understand. God, you know, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox there, but Miss Smith, I didn't like you. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, Cora. Yeah, and I had friends that were like that too. And so they would run really slow so that wouldn't happen. And then, you know, and then they're left with me. Once again, though, everybody's watching them. And that's the last thing you wanted is watch everybody watching you jiggle. Doesn't matter where you're jiggling. You just don't want people at that age to be watching you, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people do. I did not. That's all. And let's see here, Pussycat. The first one was SpaceX. The second one is a UAL rocket. Different companies competing for satellite launches. Oh. Well, that might be an interesting comparison to make. Well, the Elon Musk had a much bluer contrail. This one was more orange toned. I prefer the visuals of the UAE. Yes. Or no, the UAL. There we go. And let's see here. Did you bet on which rocket is going to explode and which one's going to make it? I kind of wondered that myself, actually, Andre. But you know, by the time I was a teenager, I had the gym thing all worked out because luckily, most gym teachers, when you got older, at least if you were bad at it, it didn't matter as long as you made effort. And if you made the effort, you were going to get an A. If you didn't make an effort, well, then things were going to be different. So what I would do, I would go to gym class half of the time. And for the first quarter, I would go every single day. I'd get that A. And then for the second quarter, I wouldn't go at all. And I'd get that F. And then it would average out to a C at the end of the year. And I would still pass. That was what I did. And Tyrion Scanlon, perhaps I needed an over-the-shoulder boulder holder. Well, back in the 80s, the technology was not that good, Terry. That was not that good. And Pussycat, are you serious? There are different flames? I mean, I guess there are different flames for different fuels. I was just making that up, actually, but that's funny. And let's see here. Shock, I think what I mostly resented was he got the stupidest instruments to play in music class. I mean, I guess you can afford to get a bunch of drums and sticks and stuff. When they offered violin lessons after school when I was in 3rd grade, I signed right up to your parents' horror. That's funny. I actually... My music teacher did not let us play with a lot of instruments other than the sticks and the whatever. But every once in a while, she would bring a real instrument to class to like let us play. And she and I didn't like her. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. We were just not in good places with each other. But she brought a violin in and she let each of us try and play it, And much to her chagrin, I actually was able to hold the bow properly, and the tone that I made coming out of that instrument was actually a pleasant sound. And she was really, really annoyed that I was the first student to be able to do my thing and not make her wince, because me of all people, she hated me and I hated her. There was no love lost between the two of us. And yes, exactly, Rick. I gamed the system. And Cora the Capricorn, you guys pass sports. Yes, in my school district, I cannot speak for every single person in this stream because schools vary from state to state, county to county, district to district. But in my school district, you had to take gym in class, and yeah, it was in elementary school. It was a pass-fail thing, or it was a number thing. You got a 3 if you were bad, a 2 if you were average, a 1 if you were good. But then once you got older and you started accumulating credits towards graduation, there was a certain amount of gym or physical education classes that you had to take. And in order to get credit for having taken them, you had to pass the class. And so, if I remember correctly, in my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year, I had to take 3 semesters of gym. 2, all of my 10th grade year, and then half of my 11th grade year. I had to take it to get the 3 credits to graduate. So yeah, we in my school district you did have to, yeah. And let's see here. And Chuck, I have no doubt that your parents were most worried about the cost of, without a doubt. I mean, good Lord, that's, yeah, any instrument of realness is gonna cost some money. And let's see here. So Cora, it's just CC compulsory over here. Every child is supposed to attend with 0 grades on it. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, nope. Not like that here. And let's see here. So Pussycat talking about the Falcon Heavy. SpaceX just launched a secret mission with a mini shuttle last week. That rocket had 27 engines going on at the same time, and the flame is much longer and brighter than normal. Well, you would be the one to know, because you seem to see them all. It's so crazy, dude. And we don't graduate either. Right, there you go, Cora. Yeah, your scholastic system over there is so different than what we've got going on here. I don't know enough about your system to make this statement, but from my perspective, the system that you guys have is way better than what we've got going on over here. I have no doubt in my mind that there's parts of your system that are laughable and useless, and wow, that really is not good. But our education system here, from pretty much start to finish, from kindergarten through college, is one big messed up money boondoggle of inequality and oh yeah, and sort of useless stuff. I don't know. We definitely don't do a good job of educating kids here, in my opinion. We could definitely do better. And let's see here. It was the Air Force secret spaceship that was being launched. Yeah, I heard about that on the Fifth Column the other day too. And let's see here. Nowadays, you can buy a crummy Chinese fiddle for less than rental fees. I'm sure a lot of music teachers are going deaf and insane by the numbers. I just handed one of those off to my band for some poor wretch of a kid. Yeah, actually, I think that's what happened to Miles I think he somehow got he had a student who needed a violin, if I remember correctly, and somehow they got, or no, that was it. The student had a violin that their parents bought, but it was such a cheap violin that Miles was like, I can't even teach you on this. There's no, I can't, this is just, we need to get you a real flippin' thing. Oh, was it a cello? I just remember a few years back, Miles had a student that had a violin, but in Miles's words, it was virtually unplayable. And so, yeah, I can imagine if Miles was just probably just like, I'm not going to teach you if you use this thing. Yeah. And let's see here. Oh no. Did Pocola T come in? And I missed her because I was all talking about things and stuff. Hey there, Scatter Crew. Keeping busy here with the whole damn fam. Visiting from North Carolina and barbecue this evening. Your prep work is done and now Mr. P's turn on the grill. Oh, yum. Well, Pocola T, if you've got time to let us know, what are you having for your barbecue? And is it traditional North Carolina barbecue with the vinegar? Or are you doing something crazy like South Carolina barbecue with the mustard? Let me know. Let's see here. Cora says, from what I know, you base all of your work and credits throughout the years, but we just do 2 whole weeks of exams and 0 ticky box questions. Do we have to compile 6 years of work in our brains until the last day of tests? It sucks. Oh, wow, that does suck. That does sort of sound like it sucks, actually. And let's see here. Shock, if you have a violin, you can set the bridge creatively to get the tuning to be okay, but on the cello, that might be a bigger issue. Right. And Pussycat, yes, in a few minutes, we can have a Lono listening break. In fact, let's see here. I think we could probably have that Lono listening break right about now. Oh, nope. First, we're going to check in with Pocola T. Mr. P is grilling Calbee ribs, yum, and chicken for those Southerners. Potato mac salad and pineapple on the table too. All right, sounds like a plan, Stan. Everybody, let's head on over to Pocola T's house and have some BBQ. But before that, we've got some tunes to listen to. We have got Lono, and this is his epic instrumental, Heaven at 131. And let me just tell you this right now, you guys. This is an epic instrumental, but on one of his latest releases that's not out yet, there's an even more epic instrumental that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Don't have the permission yet, but I have heard it, and it's gonna give 131 a run for its money. But until then, all we've got is Heaven at 131. All right, just like most videos that are not of Lono just sitting in his studio playing his songs, that video was made by Molokai Matt. Molokai Matt is a YouTube content creator and a video producer, film director, etc., etc. Molokai Matt has a new production out. I released it on YouTube a few days ago. It's called Kalo Moon, and it is about the growing practices of taro, aka kalo, on the Hawaiian Islands. And it is all about utilizing the old moon planting calendar that the native Hawaiians used to use back in their kingdom days. Some days of the month are better to plant your kalo than others, and so there is this, theoretical lunar map planting guide that the natives did in their traditional ways, and the movie is about putting that planner, that calendar, to the test. So they've got, for the last couple years, they've been doing observations and harvests based on this, that, and the other thing, and they're trying to test the just the logic behind this lunar calendar. And as it turns out, this lunar calendar has there's some method to the madness in the results that you end up with, as the calendar indicates, if you plant it on this day versus this day, blah blah blah. So fascinating video. I think it's 20 minutes long. Maybe it's 30 minutes long. It's definitely not a huge time suck. But if you are at all interested in the traditional Hawaiian ways when it comes to planting, and the moon calendar, the lunar calendar that they use for the kalo, definitely recommend you check that out by Molokai Matt on YouTube. And Molokai Matt, tons of Molokai-based material, obviously, and he is behind so many different Lono videos. I show some of them here, and I've also shown some of his full-length features on Statterbox of the Cinema. One of my favorites is Sons of Halava, and I believe, although I did not verify, but I believe that one of the guys in Sons of Halava is also actually in Kalo Moon, but I'm not sure, so definitely don't quote me on that. And Pacola T, yes, those Kapuno were not stupid. Precisely. But basically, though, when you're coming at it with when you're trying to argue for it or advocate for it, it's nice to have a scientific underpinning of, to show. It's like, okay, well, this is what the elders said, but why? It's like, well, here's the science behind why. And so they're starting to sort of fine-tune that out and realize, there's a method to the madness, as it were. And so let's see here. Hold on. Cora, in your school, the music building got knocked down and 10 ooks were shoved in the math classroom to replace it. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. But at least you had some ukuleles. That's kind of cool. We did not have that in any of my music classes. But I did have one at home. And let's see here. And Pacola T, sort of like Hokulea, proving that the early Polynesians did indeed navigate by the stars, sun, currents, etc. Exactly. And so yeah, there's a lot of relearning of the wisdom, and then some supplemental education brought on by the Western mind, which is the science and the mean data and the graph and their statistical averaging on the blah, 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 blah. We've got to control the variables. And, they are actually doing it in a very scientific way. So, despite the tone of my voice making it sound like I was mocking them, I actually am not. So... I guess that's true there, Andre. Method to the lunacy is more associated with the moon. Precisely. All right, so now that we're getting back to the natural world, you guys, do you remember I told you about some, and let's see here, Matt Stetter, the ones who weren't correct didn't live to transmit that knowledge. Good point. But, all right, so do you remember when I was telling you guys about the beavers that got released in California and how awesome that is and stuff? And we all agreed, I think we all agreed, it was pretty awesome. Well, as it turns out, beavers are being released everywhere, and sometimes they're being released in places they aren't supposed to be released. I mean, that's not to say that they're, didn't used to be there, but let's see here. In Italy, and in England, and in Scotland, apparently, people have been smuggling beavers in and releasing them in the wild. And so now the Tiber River in Tuscany, Italy, which is where this photo was taken, they've got a bunch of beavers now doing things to the river, and it has got the local conservationists all in a Twitterous fury. Half of the community is like, yes, this is their rightful place. They've, we killed them 500 years ago. They need to be here. These are a native species. And the other half are like, this is not being done in a very scientifically prudent manner. And I'm not sure what hell you've released upon the landscape, but there are going to be consequences, severe consequences for this illegal mayhem. And so, apparently, there's some clandestine beaver believers that are smuggling. There's a beaver smuggling route that's happening, and people are actually smuggling them into places and reintroducing them to the wild, even though there's no permits and they're really not supposed to, and there's no plans for it, and yeah, they don't really. It's like the Underground Railroad for beavers. That's exactly it, dude. They don't know where they're coming from, but they know, but they know it's been done because suddenly there's beavers popping up in places there did not used to be beavers for hundreds upon hundreds of years. And so, and let's see here. Trail Dust, we'll take our beavers back if they take their buckthorn back. No, actually, beavers at one point belonged in Europe. They totally, like, the people who are reintroducing them aren't just, it's not like they're taking cats to Australia and just dropping them off and saying, here's a new animal now. Like, beavers actually used to live in that area. Beavers totally 500 years ago were a native species to almost all of Europe. They were there, they were around, they were part of the thing, right? But, they eventually died off for hunting, and, there's the whole beaver fur, and then I think their glands were used for perfumes, and so they were basically and then just hunted to extinction. So but you're right, yeah, and wolves used to be native to Europe as well. And I mean, seriously, like, can you imagine if someone just randomly reintroduced wolves into Italy without proper authority or planning or whatever? That's not a good look. And Andre, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Oh My God. And let's see here. Bieber is German for Bieber. So yeah, there you go. They're believers. That's exactly what it is. And exactly, easy on the beaver, Wally. You got it. And yeah, so far there haven't been any like showdowns with people removing the beavers, and apparently the people in Italy are well, let's see, the government basically the people who think it's gonna work because any eradication effort to get the beavers out now is going to take a concerted effort by the government, and it needs to happen fast. And since apparently nothing in the Italian government ever happens quickly, the people are pretty sure that the beavers are there to stay. Even if the government decided to try to get rid of them, they figure it's going to take them long enough that it will be an impossible task by the time they even start trying. And so, and let's see here. The wolves naturally migrated on the back of whales. Exactly. And what would happen if cougars were secretly released? Yeah, I think that the cougars might eat all the beavers. And where are they going to bin the beavers? That would be part of the plan that the government would have to come up with quickly. And the Italians have faith that their government doesn't work quickly enough to come up with a plan that includes something like that. So who knows? I don't know. But, no, Andre, I didn't know that they airdrop beavers in some parts of the U.S., but I do know that in Alaska, beavers are wreaking havoc right now. And as much as I like to think that beavers make a huge positive impact on the earth, there are times apparently when they do not. Now, this is one of those times. You see, this little picture here, it took place in 1980. That was the river. 2019, that was the river after the beavers had migrated to a formerly unbeaverable population area. The beavers have been migrating ever further north. And in doing so, they are creating beaver ponds further and further north, which is a problem because water keeps heat. And the water that the beaver ponds are collecting have now started to melt the permafrost underneath, releasing methane gas, causing further acceleration of global warming in the immediate vicinity, causing the beavers to move to basically causing the northward range of the beavers to increase even further northward, where they then dam up more rivers, create more ponds, create more warmth, thaw the permafrost, which releases the methane. The methane then warms the immediate area, creating a situation where the beavers can move further northward. And the cycle this cycle begins. And so so this picture above in 1980 was what that river used to look like. 2019, with all of the beaver ponds, that's what it looks like now. And so this pink area at the very top of Alaska, the northern slope, is currently uninhabitable by beavers, but it's going to be habitable by beavers in by 2100 is what they think. And so yeah, beavers apparently aren't necessarily welcome in all the places that I would like to think beavers would be welcome in. And Alaska is one of those places. And let's see here. Okay, hold on. More than 60 years ago, Idaho Fish and Game dropped beavers out of a plane and parachuted them into the state's backcountry. This little-known piece of Idaho history stars a crafty fish and game officer and a plucky male beaver named Geronimo. Idaho Fish and Game has always struggled with problem beavers, those critters who get too close or too used to city life. Trapping and rehoming... Wait, where did we go? And rehoming them into wild can be tough, it's expensive, and it's hard to find good habitat for the beavers. There you go. And Pussycat, I didn't know that Alice Cooper was on that show, and don't tell me that Alice Cooper was not Eddie Haskell. You're lying, right? No. He was not Eddie Haskell, was he? No. He was not. Was he? Let's see here. Yeah, Cora, I don't know. Animals just know. I don't know, man. How do dogs make it all the way across the country back to their home when they fall out of the car? or whatever. You know, I mean, it's just like, well, we got into a car accident in North Carolina and then the dog disappeared into the woods and we live in Seattle and so we figured we'd never see the dog again, but 3 months later, the dog showed up at home. How? Yeah. So, okay. So, Eddie Haskell was played by Ken Osmond. Okay, now, is Alice Cooper Ken Osmond? Because I know that Alice Cooper is not Alice Cooper's real name. That much I know. Or rather, it might be his real name now, but I'm 97% sure he was not born with that. And, hey, Felicia, so good to see you. Yes, dogs are loyal, but at the same time, how do they have that internal compass to know where to go, right? I mean, I just don't get it. Okay, Vincent Damon Fernier. Okay, no wonder he changed his name. Yeah, that's Alice Cooper's birth name. That's what I thought. Yeah. No, apparently it is not Alice Cooper. No. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look it up. But it sounds like no, that wasn't Alice Cooper. And let's see here. Shock. For every dog that makes it home, a dozen are found miles out in the wrong direction. That is true. Now that many have chips, they can go home. Good point. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland coming in. Ken Osmond became a police officer, and he was the one who played Eddie Haskell. And for some reason, I am not surprised that the guy who played Eddie Haskell turned into a cop. Color me unshocked. Slippery little liar. That's right. I said it. Talking about Eddie Haskell, fictional character. And let's see here. Andre, everyone believed that Alice Cooper, under all that makeup, was Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver. Legend became so ubiquitous that Alice Cooper started wearing a t-shirt that said, "No, I'm not Eddie Haskell." That's funny. That is funny. And leave it to you to harsh all the mellows of wonder here on the chatter. That's okay. Let's see here. And Felicia, are you in Waikiki right now? Oh, sweet, dude. That's right. Because you get to go see, you get to maybe go see Andy, or did you see? No, you get to go see Andy next week, right? Because you didn't see him this week. Or did you? You wouldn't have, because you're still on flight jack. You're flight jagged. You're still flight jagged. So you just did it. Right then. Pussycat, you know what? There are times when I really do love being wrong. Because there are times that I am so cynical and so mean-spirited, or I don't know, just so cynical that seriously, it's just like, it is so good to be proven wrong sometimes. It just gives me hope and joy for the world sometimes when I get proven wrong. Because sometimes, just cynical. And, okay, you're going to see Andy on the 13th. Perfect. Cannot wait. I mean, you've already seen him, I guess, so you already know what you're in for, but he's still got it. And as far as Augie goes, I haven't seen Augie, so I don't know if he's still got it, but I'm going to guess he does. Oh, but wait, they're different separate shows, so never mind. You might not even see Augie, but I'm glad you're going to go see Andy. All right, so let's see here. Oh, Terry. Oh, Terry. Oh, Terry. That's funny. Terry in Scotland wanted to make it very clear, though, that it is true, however, that the kid playing the banjo in Deliverance was George W. Bush. That's right, W. Yeah, Terry lied. I know, Terry lied. I know, it's a big old lie, but it was funny. but it was funny. And, you know, I mean, because, you know, look, could that kid, would you have trusted that kid with the pretzel? Or does that kid look like he would have choked on a pretzel? I think that kid looks like he would have choked on a pretzel. I think it probably was George W. Bush. It's very consistent. Very consistent. So let's see here. The shenanigans they did to make that kid look like they were playing were pretty epic. All right. And yeah, I know, Andre, George W. is a Yankee by blood. That is true, but I still thought it was a funny joke. Exactly, Colatini. You used to be 6 feet tall till you had an altercation with Beaver. And let's see here. The Banjo Kid, his real name was Lonnie in the film, played by Billy Redden, who was 15 years old at the time of filming. Yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to recognize him now. I wonder if he's done anything. And speaking of Deliverance, so have you guys actually seen that movie? It's actually kind of a good movie. I mean, you know, there's the iconic scene, obviously. But as far as, like, adventure films go and things like that, like, to me, it was very real. Parts weren't necessarily that realistic, but it really, like, I don't know. I didn't think I was going to like the movie as much as I liked the movie. And I did really actually kind of like that movie. It was a good, yeah, you've never seen it, right? Yeah, it's, but a long time ago. You know, I wonder, should we maybe try and watch Deliverance on the cinema? Or is it just too triggering for people? I mean, I'll tell you right now, I love the banjo scene in that. I love the banjos. I love dueling banjos. I love Flats and Scruggs. I love that movie's music so flippin' much. But I understand there's parts of the movie that make people very uncomfortable, which is the part that, like, everybody talks about and remembers and the movie's known for. But, first off, that movie made me realize, oh, Burt Reynolds was kind of cute at one point in his life. Because, boy, I had never thought that Burt Reynolds was very cute. But I could finally, like, recognize, like, oh, I guess I see, wow, he's like, I can see why someone would think that now. But really, though, I don't know. Just, you know, the whole canoeing trip and everything that could go wrong in it, you know, it seemed like a good movie to me. It was very realistic. Like, I could totally see how some of that would happen. And let's see here. The movie that made banjo music creepy. Yeah, I guess. Just, well, yeah. Yeah. And yes, Andre, I've seen that meme before, where you're, you know, the warning signs on the trail in the woods. If you hear banjos, walk faster. And let's see here. You'd rather watch Wild World. You'll pass on that. You'd rather watch Waterworld or Mad Max. Got it. And so let's see here. Burt Reynolds is a really big deal in Florida. Awesome. Apparently, back in the day, according to Cheech and Chong, Burt Reynolds was very big in Amsterdam as well. And so let's see here. So Banjo Player was on his way to a gig. I know I've heard this before, but finish it, Shock, because and let's see here. Oh, Burt played football in Florida. He's the Bandit, Smokey and the Bandit. Oh, I would actually rather watch Smokey and the Bandit than Deliverance, just because I love that one song, Eastbound and Down. Eastbound and Down is one of my favorite songs. If I am in the car, there's probably only 2 songs that if I am in the car and these songs come on, you better buckle up, hold on, and plug your ears, because I'm turning up the volume. I am gonna be singing raging loud, and I'm gonna be driving super fast. And one of those songs is Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. But the other song is Eastbound Down, loaded up and truckin'. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go and a short while to get there. Eastbound, well, watch a bandit run. I love that song. And let's see here. Yeah, Ozzy and Crazy Train, absolutely, dude. And yes, that's right. You guys got to hear me. I don't know what to tell you. I just love that Eastbound and Down song. It's one of my favorite songs. And Rick, if I want Bert, play the longest yard. No, I don't want Bert. I just want the Eastbound and Down song. And Terry in Scotland, James Dickey wrote the book Deliverance and played the sheriff in the movie. Got it. And Felicia Nichols, yes, both on your playlist, as well they should be, because they're both awesome songs. One of my favorite bands in the world, the Super Suckers, does a cover of Eastbound and Down that is almost as good as the original. Almost as good as the original. That's right. So let's see here. Yeah, Dueling Banjos versus Eastbound and Down. I will take Eastbound and Down for the driving song. I'll take that one because I can sing along with it. So, and let's see here. But is Shriners Convention on my rotation? I don't even know what that is. So I'm going to say no. And, let's see here. And wait, Shriners Convention. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they... Okay, you guys clearly know what she's talking about, but I don't know. Pussycat, when you say Jerry Reed was the snowman, do you mean as in the Falcon and the snowman? And let's see here. Yes, the both of them need to be turned up way loud, Felicia, especially Crazy Train. Like, for real, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. If you're in the car with me when Crazy Train comes on, I really don't know what to tell you. Just buckle up and hold on. And hope the song ends quick. Because we will be blasting and blaring and dodging and diving and going real fast. Yeah. And let's see here. Okay, I'll check my Discord for a link to Shriners Convention. Gotcha. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so you guys. Totally different topic here, but we're going to touch on it very briefly. I meant to touch on it last time, but I didn't. So I'm going to touch on it this time. And Terry in Scotland, that was a Kenworth W900 he was driving. Kenworth, by the way, a factory out of the Puget Sound area. Kenworth, by the way, the factory that the Green River Killer was a painter for. Kenworth, by the way, was the painting little remnants and chemical signatures of the Kenworth paint that got the Green River Murderer identified as the Green River Murderer, because they kept finding all these weird paint dots on all of the victims. And as it turned out, they were little orbs of paint that got onto his skin, clothes, and hair that was then transferred to his victims. And the only kind of paint that matched the paint was the kind that Kenworth used on their trucks, which meant it was someone who had access to painting Kenworth trucks. Well, shoot, gosh darn heck fork. What did Gary Widgway do? He painted the Kenworth trucks. So, yes indeedy. Kenworth, part of the Green River story arc. And, yeah, Pacola T. You forgot about that clue on the Green River serial killer. Yes, there were so many clues, but that was the one that really kept, because he was already a suspect. He'd been on their radar for a while. And then they I think they even dug up his yard. And after they dug up his yard and didn't find anything, he was like, well, I guess we're going to cross him off. But then the paint, it just kept coming back to him. And so there you go. Yeah. Hey there, PPP Bang. How you doing? We are on the verge of wrapping things up. Talking right now. We didn't mean to be talking about the Green River Killer, but right now we're talking about the Green River Killer. And Terry in Scotland, you drive a Kenworth, a W900 in American Truck Simulator. You'll take a Kenworth over a Peterbilt every time. There you go. Well, I think both Peterbilt and Kenworth are actually built in this area. I believe that Gary Widgway actually did work on both trucks, but it was the Kenworths that got him caught. And, but totally different subject. A couple weeks ago, Picola T mentioned something that I didn't know. And so I looked it up, and we all looked it up, and she was right. And what that is there was, yes, Picola T, Green River is, a really tasty soda pop, oddly enough. But we're going to talk about whales. We talked about beavers. Now we're going to talk about whales. So we have a new baby in the Puget Sound. It's a J-Pod baby. We know that. It's J60. I don't know what his name is yet, but J40 is J60's mom. And J60, as it turns out, is a boy baby. He is a boy baby orca, which is fantastic because out of the last 10 baby orcas that were made, I think 8 of them have been girls. And so we needed some more boys. We needed some more boys being born. And so J40 gave birth to J60, but they were not expecting J40 to give birth. They were expecting J46 to give birth. And so they still suspect that J46 might still be pregnant. And so the J-Pod might actually have 2 babies this season, which will be fan-flippin-tastic. Now, the J-Pod isn't the tiniest pod. That's the K-Pod. But all of the pods need help right now because in 1995, the pods, all of the southern resident pods, J, K, and L, they, population was about 98 whales, which was the peak of the orca, the southern residents. Right now, with this new baby, we're at 78 whales. So, from 1995 to 2023, we basically have a negative growth of 20 whales. We have a 20 whale loss. But this season, the J-Pods look to maybe increase the pod. At least they've already done it by 1. They might now up it to another one. And so, and how they were able to tell that it's a boy is this picture right here. I don't know what about this picture made them tell, but apparently the only way that you can sex the baby orcas is to look at the markings on their bellies. And so when that baby whale rolled over and showed his belly, and they were able to take a picture of his belly, just like that, people who knew what they were looking at were like, oh, it's a boy. Now, I don't know what I'm looking at, so I'm not going to tell you if it's a boy or a girl. But what I can tell you is they say it's a boy. And they seem to know what they're talking about. They seem to know what they're talking about. So, we're going to call him a boy. And so, that is the update so far on the J-Pod baby. There we go. All right. So, Trail Dust likes the bagpipes just a wee bit Scottish. Good for you there, Trail Dust. All right. So, we have got about 3 minutes left to the bottom of the hour, which means we're wrapping things up now. And on Wednesday, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. But Wednesday, I hope to see you all for Chatter with Statter, 5 p.m. West Coast time. And then on Saturday, as you guys might have known if you were here yesterday, Saturday we're going to watch Office Space. Office Space is the movie the cinema will be showing on that Saturday. It absolutely is a comedy movie from the 90s. It is a shorter movie than Bohemian Rhapsody. It is brain candy. There's really not a lot of thought going on in it. Jennifer Aniston is in it. Jennifer Aniston's in it. I don't know what else to say. But thank you so much, Andre, for the 10,000 biddies, or no, the 1,000 biddies, to all of the things and all of the stuff. Thank you so much. So, all right, you guys, I think that's all for the evening. I want to thank you for the subs, the resubs, the gift subs, and all the bits. But mostly I want to thank you for hanging out and having this conversation, because we cannot have Chatter with Statter without those who are willing to chatter. And that's what you guys are here for, is to hang out with all y'all so you can catch up on things and stuff. And so, I hope you guys stay cozy, because it's getting to be chilly out there. And I hope that we get to see each other on Wednesday. Until then, take care of yourselves. See you online. Have a good one.